High in the canopy of an emerald jungle, where sunlight dapples through leaves 1,000 years old, lived Kiko. He wasn't the strongest monkey, nor the biggest, but his mind was as quick as the river and his heart as brave as any lion. He was the protector of his tribe, a sentinel watching from the highest branches of the ancient kapok tree. For generations, his family had told tales of the before times of the tall, hairless apes who built strange, hard nests and then vanished, leaving behind only their silent, metal bones. Kiko thought them just stories, campfire warnings to keep young monkeys from straying too far. He was wrong. One morning, the jungle symphony was shattered. Not by the roar of a jaguar or the cry of an eagle, but by a sound that was utterly alien and grinding, rhythmic clang that shook the very roots of the trees. From the dense undergrowth, something monstrous rose. It was long and segmented, its body a coil of rust-brown metal, its head a wedge of gleaming steel with eyes that burned with a cold, blue light, a metal serpent. Then another appeared, and another. They slithered through the jungle, their metallic scales crushing delicate ferns and snapping ancient roots. They weren't hunting, they were consuming. They tore at the earth, their heads spewing a strange, oily smoke that choked the air and withered the leaves. The ancient machines, the metal bones left by humans, had awakened. Panic erupted, monkeys shrieked and scattered. But Kiko, from his perch, saw not just chaos, but a pattern. The serpents were powerful, but they were clumsy. They were relentless, but they were predictable. He descended, his calls cutting through the fear. This was their home, they would not surrender it. Thus began the war for the jungle. Kiko became a general of guerrilla warfare. He taught his tribe to watch, to learn. They saw how the serpents followed the iron-rich veins in the earth. They learned the hum that signaled a serpent was about to strike. They weren't going to fight metal with muscle. They were going to fight it with their greatest weapon, the jungle itself. The first counterattack was simple. Kiko led a team to a gorge spanned by a thick, heavy liana vine. As the metal serpent began to cross the clearing below, a dozen monkeys, working in perfect unison, chewed through the vine's anchor. The massive liana swung down like a giant's club, smashing into the serpent's side, denting its plates and sending it crashing into its brethren. A small victory, but it lit a fire of hope. They grew bolder, they fashioned traps, using sharpened bamboo stakes hidden in leaf litter. They orchestrated rock slides from high cliffs, burying the machines under tons of stone. They used the jungle's sticky sap to gum up the mechanical joints, slowing the metallic beasts to a grinding halt. Kiko and his tribe were a blur of fur and strategy, using their agility and knowledge of the terrain to strike and vanish before the enemy could even react. The leader of the machines, the alpha serpent, was different. It was larger, faster, and coated in a polished chrome that seemed to repel the jungle's grasp. Its blue eyes held a chilling intelligence. It learned from the monkeys' tactics, avoiding their traps and anticipating their ambushes. Kiko knew that to save their home, he had to defeat the Alpha. The final battle would have to be at the heart of the jungle, a sacred place the machines were inexorably drawn to, the Great Waterfall. The Great Waterfall was a colossal cascade of water that thundered into a deep, circular pool, a place of immense natural power. Kiko observed the Alpha. He saw how it recoiled from the spray, how its joints hissed when touched by water. That was its weakness, rust, the slow, patient death that nature inflicts upon all metal. The plan was audacious. Kiko led the Alpha on a chase, a daring dance through the densest parts of the forest, right to the edge of the roaring waterfall. He leapt across the chasm, taunting the Alpha from the other side. The chrome serpent, filled with mechanical rage, followed. It launched itself across the gap, its massive body arcing through the mist. This was the moment. On Kiko's signal, his tribe, hidden in the cliffs, released their greatest trap. It wasn't a vine or a rock, it was a net, woven over weeks from the strongest, most flexible ironwood creepers. The net caught the Alpha mid-air, its momentum carrying it forward, but its trajectory altered. Instead of landing on the far cliff, the Alpha serpent plunged down into the churning, furious waters at the base of the waterfall. It thrashed, its blue eyes flickering wildly. But the weight of the net, combined with the relentless, crushing power of the water, held it fast. The sound of grinding metal was drowned out by the roar of the falls. The other serpents, their leader defeated, seemed to lose their purpose. They slowed, their lights dimmed, and one by one, they fell silent across the jungle. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. The great waterfall worked its patient magic. The alpha's chrome sheen dulled, then gave way to streaks of orange-brown rust. Its joints seized, and its cold blue eyes went dark forever. Throughout the jungle, the other machines suffered the same fate. Rain and humidity seeped into their workings, and the relentless growth of the jungle began to reclaim them. Vines wrapped around their silent forms, moss grew over their metal scales. Ferns sprouted from the cracks in their armor. The jungle didn't just defeat the machines. It absorbed them, turning these symbols of a forgotten, artificial world into new foundations for life. Kiko, now a legend, watched from the highest branch of the kapok tree. The jungle's symphony had returned, fuller and richer than before. The air was clean, the leaves were green, and his tribe was safe. Nature had faced the ghost of a metal age and had emerged victorious, proving that even the mightiest machines are no match for the patient, persistent, and untamable power of the wild. Thank you so much for watching. It is amazing to think about the power of nature and the stories we can imagine within it. If you enjoyed this journey into the jungle, please hit that like button and consider subscribing for more tales from the wild and beyond. We'll see you in the next one.